gonna tear Canton up. It's gonna be a celebration. But nah, man, both of these guys are well deserving. Starting with Edgerrin James, he's a guy that got there a year before I did, and when I first got there, he kind of took me under his wing, showed me a lot of things. And I've seen him work and grind. And obviously from college, I also played together in Indianapolis.
Sure.
Put a lot of work in, man. So yeah, I'm happy for him to be even in that situation. So he's waited. Sometimes I think it's time for him to get in. And then obviously Ed Reed, who was we're both from Louisiana together. We was roommates in college. Talk every other day. Probably talk too much. But man, I don't think there's a better safety to play this game the way he did. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys where you had to know exactly where he was every snap, because if not, then he'll hurt you. So both these guys are well deserving. Hopefully they can get in.
And Frank?
Oh, Frank, come on, man. That's what you call a workhorse. You know what I mean? Frank is one of those guys that normally you hear quarterbacks, that live and breathe football. Frank falls in that category. Every time you sit with Frank, sometimes you got to tell Frank, hey, man, I don't want to talk football today. You know what I mean? But that's all he wants to talk about is football and working out and grinding. And you can see that when he's on the field. He just has it in his eyes.
Do you have an explanation for how he's been able to last so long in this league when running backs just don't last 3 or 4 years?
I think Frank plays with a chip on his shoulder. I really do. He's been one of those guys where people counted him out for so long, or they didn't think he was fast enough. I don't know how. At some point in his career, I heard somebody say about his toughness, and that was weird. You know what I mean? But man, I think he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Whenever nobody wants to, want to sit back and hear you say that you're losing it, losing a step. So I think he just goes out that area to prove everybody wrong.
Talk a little bit about NFL touchdown celebrations. What do you think about it as a former player and as a fan?
It's a new wave, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At first, it's crazy. At first, I was totally against it. I'm like, all right, enough's enough. You know what I mean? But as you sit up and as the year went on, it's kind of exciting. You know what I mean? It's just a new wave. It wasn't part of the wave I was in. We had a couple guys. We had, like a Chad Johnson, a Steve Smith Sr., T.O., so we had a couple guys, you know what I mean? But we kind of expected them to do something. Now it's like, you don't know who's going to do something. You see guys clearing the bench, you know what I mean? So it's cool, man. I think, any way we can bring excitement to the sport, I'm all for it.
Reggie, I was talking with David Andrews on Monday, and he said he didn't think that the Patriots' experience mattered, that it came down to how everybody was feeling that day, and he didn't think it gave them an edge. Do you think it gives them an edge, and who do you think is going to come out on top on Sunday?
I'm not sure who's going to come out on top. But if you look at everything, in my opinion, I think it falls in the Patriots, falls to them. I do think experience matters. I do. I've been blessed enough to play in 2 of these games, and it was a different feel both games. The first game, Super Bowl 41, didn't know what to expect. You kind of, you're trying to get it all in, but you're focused on family, you're focused on tickets, you're focused on, what we're going to do in our free time, how we're going to get everything accomplished. Then all of a sudden, boom, the game's there. You know what I mean? And then the second time, Super Bowl 44, I kind of knew what to expect. Luckily enough, it was in the same place in Miami as the first one. So you was able kind of just to woosah a little bit. You kind of sit back a little bit. Patriots, they've done that 9 times. You know what I mean? So compared to a team with the Los Angeles Rams, where if you put all those guys combined, their Super Bowl experience, doesn't even match the Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I do think experience does kick in. But I guess that's why we play the game, right? We'll find out.
Reggie, you played with Tom Brady, played with him, you played against him, you've seen the whole time. Is he the same guy he was in the beginning, or is he showing signs of slowing down those steps?
Obviously, he's not going to be how he was when he was 29. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. I mean, he's still putting them up. You know, he's putting them up. He's still one of the quarterbacks that doesn't have a bunch of first rounders out there, and his numbers still are up there. You know what I mean? So, I'm all about W's, man. If you're getting W's, what you gonna say?